Hello and welcome everyone to the weekly Delphian meeting. Thank you for tuning in. So today's agenda will be abbreviated because the Shook is going to be on that AI talk at 1:35, right, Joe?
That's right.
Okay, so we'll try and close up here within do a half-hour show here. But our agenda, so we'll do a market update. We'll update the earnings trades. And then I think Joe has a couple charts we'll go through and we'll call it a day after that. So, okay. So overall market, everything in ones, nice aligned. You know, Russell's come up and had a nice run here. So everything's in state ones, had a big move, 61% green pie to 70, almost 75. So, you know, the state ones are getting up there. So we're at 39, you know, our overbought indicator for state ones about 45. So we're getting close to that. Okay, so here's current state percentages, bullish, bearish. You can see big divergence here, you know, up around 75. So we're getting up there, kind of in that range, you know, 75, 80 gets pretty dicey. So we'll just have to see how high we can go. You know, overall, you know, if we look at, you know, this is a very bullish indicator here. We're starting to get highs, new highs. So, you know, like I said last week, you know, that whole bearish market, these are all the new lows, right? And the new highs pretty much went dead. So this is a bullish sign here. Overall, you know, we're seeing new highs, and you know the new lows are pretty much dead. So we'd like to see a flat line, new lows, and yeah, for a bullish market. So let's see if it lasts. You know, we'll look at our key levels, you know, and resistance and support, and see how we do. So that's the bullish bearish there. Pull up the individual states. So not a big movement to fives here, but we are seeing good movement with the ones. All right. Sorry for the spinning. We can come back. Oh, there it is. That's all I had to say. Okay, so you can see the ones coming up here. Fives and sevens really haven't, not a big, nothing really big. So the eights have fallen off, but yeah, we're getting good ones. So not a huge breadth thing where we're getting a lot of fives moving. You know, it's just been slow and steady there. The ones have popped pretty good, but yeah, we get up to 45. That's pretty much overbought. Yeah, obviously can keep going higher, but that's kind of like our threshold. So we're pretty close to that right now. SPX trying to go double the average days. Yeah, obviously a strong move, and called that off the bounce off that target 3 support there. So we're roaring higher. So not much we can really discern from this other than it's been a really good state one. If we look at the charts, so let's pull it up. I'll draw it. This is the top of our range, right? So there's the bottom. So 42, but you know, we're getting up near the 46, so that could be pretty strong resistance. So that's really the only thing I can say here. You know, that 50-day is going to be critical on the way down. If we do turn around, you know, that's been good support so far in this move, and we've been watching that. So you know, the 50-day is going to be something you want to look at. That's 43.30, and I think that's, yeah, it's above there. So 43.30. to your downside, that's a ways off. But really, on this chart, we want to watch that 4,600, and I think we're about 40 points off. So that's what I'm looking at as far as SPX. Let me clear this. Okay. Russell. So we're getting, we talk about this a lot. Average move here, pull back there. That's kind of like the average. So it's following so far. Near term resistance going to be 1987, to the 2000 range. So we're a little below there, but in this area is going to be resistance, and that's where it usually turned over. If it's going to follow an average track. So look for that to, I'm sorry, got some more add in. So we're at 1981, so we're right there in that area. So, that's kind of, we can expect resistance in here, this range. So we're right there. Near term, right? Longer term, let's pull up the chart here. So we're above our 19. We've been holding there. This would be the top of the range, 21. But what we want to highlight here is, we've had these breakouts before. It's similar, big movement up, right? But these have been, let me clear that real quick. Do a better one. There you go. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, right? So it's below that 2000 level, but these are all the highs are lower highs, right? So we can make newer highs. Really, it's going to be the 2000. It's going to be big level to break over, but I think making a new high would be nice, and holding above it would be really bullish. So we'll have to see that. So really, big picture, SPX 4,600. That's nothing really close to the downside. This one, SPX, Russell, obviously, getting above that trend line and getting above these resistance. So that's they kind of coincide, I would say. So just breaking above those near term. So really, you want to keep your eyes on Russell right now, because that's real close to the shed here. So there's your targets. The downside, obviously, 1900. It's going to be critical. That's our number we've been talking about over and over. So see, if we do turn on the 1900, that's our critical support. But it's kind of mirroring these previous moves. Just be careful. We had a nice little bullish run here. See if we can break new highs. If not, I expect to retest that 19. Okay, 10 years kind of been all over the place. Got up over 4. Now it's back 375. The wild ride continues, but kind of pegs that this seems like the new peg, 375. It used to be 35. Now it kind of seems like 375, in my opinion. But okay, so next week we have Fed meeting. So pretty much baked in 99.8% probability that it's going to be hike. So there's your hike. Balance sheet, kind of running off. So we're below. This is the Silicon Valley area where we get that infusion. So we're below that. I don't know why this isn't showing me, but that's the latest reading. I don't know why it's not showing me closer. It won't let me go over that one. But we're continuing the grind down. the raising rates and pull in assets off the balance sheet for the Fed now. So that continues. Okay, just want to pull up this. We didn't have any really great charts, I don't think, that I saw on Twitter. Let me see. Downloads. I don't know, did I pull this up last week? 7-Eleven. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, I won't go over those. What I want to pull up, just kind of reminder. So we're, in this cycle where the Fed's raising, and you can see a lot of these, we get these kind of almost euphoric type run-ups before the pivot. So when the pivot comes, be careful. I don't know when that's going to be. I have no crystal ball, but obviously they're still raising rates. So, but you can see a lot of these, we do get these run-ups there.
Josh?
Yep.
What do you mean by pivot on this chart when they switch from raising to
cut.
to decreasing rates or sitting?
Yeah, they do like a cut, but they pivot their strategy. So they go from raising rates to cut more. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of the, I just want to pull this up. Obviously this one's a little different, but COVID, but all the other ones, you had these nice run-ups, and then so here we had some downward before the pivot here on these earlier ones. I mean, these were pretty much tops. Like, it's waffling at the top and then pivot, get crushed. But this is back in the 70s. So we'll have to see, if we get it, in the top. But really, I don't see anything for pivot wise unless something breaks. I mean, they're still raising. So just want to bring that up. All right. It's a reminder. Okay, that's it for market. Any questions, comments?
So we're melting up.
Yeah, it's been a melt up. Yeah, I'm just concerned, with getting kind of near these levels. 46. This kind of trend line 2000. For the Russell. And overall, it's just everything's really cooked.
Yeah,
75%.
it looks very overbought to me, the market.
Yeah, obviously, things can push through, but at this point, it's just kind of odds. I would expect to be lower next week, from where we are right now, but could be wrong. Could push through, but odds are, Okay. Thanks, Adir. Hope you had a good vacation.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Brazil.
Oh, nice. Never been there. I've never been to South America.
Brazil. So, yeah, it was great.
Very cool. Okay, anyone else before I get into earnings? Okay, the new UI, it's coming. It's coming, people. We're working tirelessly on that. So this is new UI, obviously. I'll start with the non-movers because we did a deep dive on those last week, right? So those two trades, Fast and Delta. So those both have closed out. Here's the trades that were entered, and I can pull up this was a 1 dayer. This thing didn't move at all. So you can see, that's our sell strike, 57.50. So we got it in the day before, the next day at 56.7. So good profit, close that out first day. This one, the Delta, took a little longer, but the good day yesterday. So our sell strike was 48.50. So, it moved down, got down kind of near that level, our lower band of 46. And then yesterday came up for a nice profit, close it out, done. So those two ended up good. It's good questions by Russ last week. So I just wanted to show you how those turned out. So, I mean,
I
if
missed
you
both of these because I was on vacation.
yeah.
I'm kicking myself now.
Well, I mean, they have internet in Brazil. I know that. So
Yeah, but it's just too busy to do it.
yeah, that's fine. Anyway, so I mean, just look at these like risk rewards. Like you're risking 1,000. You know, um, it's good risk reward, and I mean the profits are. This one was really good. It's hard to beat these, risk reward wise, but obviously if this thing gets outside of the bands, you could end up losing that whole amount. Um, but it's really good risk reward. It's good trades usually. I think, we've only had a few quarters where they've been bad, but like everything done win all the time. So we haven't had any more bearish, just that one that closed out. Bullish pre-runners. So we got 7 that closed out. This one, we got till the 19th. So this one closed out today. Let's see, travelers. Barely up. So this one looks like it's not going to be, this could be our first loser, travelers. It's usually a good one. Got 2 that just opened. And then we got these 7 that all, you can see here, return 25. So all of them close out, hit the profit targets. So good, so far, good start to the earnings. The non-movers, both pre-runners all doing good. So far so good. And we got a couple bullish runners. So maybe it's just the Q1s are bad now. I don't know. So we got 2 open here. Delta probably hit the 25 intraday, but I can't close it. So it's at 24.82. So, and then Nike got 2 open there. Not a ton of action, but things are going well so far in earnings. Any questions, comments on that? Trying to run through all this stuff so we get out of here on time. Okay. Guys are quiet today. Okay. I think that's it, Joe. You got some charts?
Yeah, Josh.
Mhm.
Actually, given that, hopefully some folks want to jump over and hear a shook. This panel, as you said, runs from 135 to 225. I'm not going to pull up any charts, just a couple comments. But just a comment also about the Tradier Summit. The fella who was following the Shook's panel, Rob Hocking from the CBOE, I think he'll be worth listening to if you happen to tune in. So anyway, hope some of you do get a chance to listen to a Shook. We're looking forward to hearing from him. The only things I wanted to touch on, Sudhir, you talked about, the overbought condition of the markets here. From a pie perspective, I went back just at a very high level. From the COVID lows, we've had essentially 10 periods where the pie has been north of 70%. There was one period actually right after the 2020 election where, believe it or not, the pie stayed north of 70 and got well over 80 for 74 days. That was right after the election. There were a few times, where it was 3 days here, 2 days there. So if you take out those outliers, 6 to 10 times, the average period that the pie is over 70% is 16 days. Okay, we're at 3 currently. Maybe, something to target in terms of time frame over the next couple weeks. And then the last three pullbacks after we rolled over from 70%, basically those early February highs, we rolled out of 70% February 15th. We got a 7% pullback in the market. Prior to that, it was kind of the November, early December period. We got a 4% pullback. And then, prior to that, in each of these periods, we were north of 70, 18 days, 15 days, 15 days. The big one, we remember, the run up last August. So from that August 24th high into which for many stocks, was the low, October 13th, we had 11.5% pullback. So, kind of looking at this maybe 12 to 18 day period, north of 70% in the pie, looking at a pullback maybe in the 5 to 10% range. So, we'll see what the future holds. As Dave mentioned last week, all kinds of things, including the NASDAQ rebalancing the week of November 24th, in addition to the Fed and so on and so forth. So, I just wanted to throw those, maybe periods to look at if we're looking at trying to, time a little bit this overbought market. So that's all I would have, Josh.
Very interesting, Joe. Thank you.
You're welcome, Sudhir. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you again. This is Winslow. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, good to have you, Winslow.
Yeah,
Been a while.
yeah, I know. I'm back.
Pleasure, Winslow.
Yeah, I think these stats, like you do on the individual, Josh, you go through SPX and Russell and how many days they've been in their respective states and all that kind of stuff. The stats on the overall market are equally interesting, I think, when time to do them. When Joe has time to do them, that sort of thing is very, very informative.
Yeah, we're talking, like kind of like a 45%, like we're going to get a lot more granular as we get time here, with the data on the overall market. I think this is, the market pulse, I think, is invaluable, as far as, most weeks. Sometimes it's a little too slow moving, but, when you get to certain levels, it's very valuable,
And obviously the goal with statistics is just to improve our probabilities. We're not trying to pinpoint a top and a bottom, necessarily. It's just improving our probabilities in the various trades we take on.
Right. Okay. All right. Any general questions? We got a few minutes. Otherwise, we'll close out and jump on the CBOE. CBOE. It's not an easy thing to say. CBO. Anyway, any other comments before we wrap it up? All right. Well, we'll close it up, and if you guys listen in on the shook. I know I will be. If you need the link, you should have got it in your email. If not, just shoot me an email real quick. I'll forward it to you. So, okay. Well, thank you all. We'll do it again next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good rest of the week, everybody.